Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Crypto Night Show. Your host Superman in the house. Hope you guys are having a good time out there, and welcome to the new format of the show. It is very exciting times indeed. Hope you guys are going to enjoy it. Of course, we've got big news continuing to come out. The volatility has definitely been in the markets. I think we've been on a bit of a seesaw ride, but it's looking pretty positive today. What a rise overnight, and we've had several positive things happen, which I think has been pretty neat. So exciting times, guys. Exciting times indeed. Don't forget to smash the follow on the way in. If you're on X, and also subscribe on YouTube as well. That's does a great wonders there. And let's have a good time. We're going to get into it. So much good news. Really is great. So let's get into it straight away. We're going to talk about the stock market first. We had a really good night overnight. So the Dow Jones, they're up 0.75%. 370 points to 50,063. Wonderful, right? I mean, that's basically almost back to all-time highs. We're very, very close to it indeed. So it's pretty crazy stuff there. Looking really good. So some nice stuff happening there. Sorry, 49,910. Sorry, that's the futures. 50,063. We got this S&P 500 up 0.75%, 57 points to 7,500. New all-time highs essentially around that area. The Nasdaq there as well, up almost 0.9%, 232 points, the 26,635. Not too far there. Look at that. I mean, they were at all-time high levels. Pretty crazy, right? So, really good results in the stock market overnight. Volatility index is down 3.4%. So risk on, baby. We love that. That's sitting at 17. Dollar index there is slightly stronger, almost 99. Strength in the US dollar, up 0.25%. Let's look at the commodities. West Texas up a little bit, 1.25%, $1.26 to $102.43. Brent oil there up $1.30, 1.2% at $107. So still elevated on oil. Still got that risk premium in there for the Strait of Hormuz and the oil issues going on there. Gold is down 1.4%. Interesting enough, $67 to $4,618. Silver is down 4.5%, $3.80, down to $81.50. And so those are just being pushed down, obviously. So there we go. They have had lower highs, right? So silver there was getting back up high, but we'll see what happens there. The big news, of course, NVIDIA Corporation surged over 4% to a record high. It's the number one, right? Biggest company in the world. And of course, reported the company was allowed by the US to sell its second most powerful artificial intelligence chip, the H200, to 10 companies in China. So, good news out of the trade discussions in China. Which is kind of cool. Now, it always takes a little bit longer after you have the meeting to actually get everything signed up. So just take note of that. So very, very cool. Not a single delivery, of course, so far, but that's they're definitely getting there. I don't believe that's their top chip. The top chip's not allowed to be sold, for security reasons, but that's still good news there. Trump Xi summit was deemed pretty popular, pretty powerful. It was actually, great welcome to Trump. We never saw anything like that with Obama, right? Obama basically just got ushered into a car and taken off. So Trump got the full state visit. And it was a pretty nice, public statements. Hopefully our relationship with China will be stronger than ever, Trump said. So, and likewise, President Xi was making pretty similar type of tones there. So kind of cool. Duke of Booze in the house. Cheers, everybody. Welcome to the chat there, Duke of Booze. Welcome. Craig Pitt in the house as well. Afternoon to you as well. So that is some of the news there. Kind of cool. So let's jump away to the crypto markets. And we can see, let's do a refresh here to get the latest and greatest. We've got the coin market cap, total market cap at 2.77 trillion. Still very small market. I always like to reemphasize that, but we are at 1.7. We're up 1.7% today. Bitcoin at the moment is sitting at 80,891. So let's just round it at 81K. We're at 1.7% over the 24 hours. What a turn of events that was. We'll look at that in a minute. Upset 1.4% for the 7 days. So pretty much all of it in the last day. Ethereum there up 0.4%, down 0.7% for the week at $2,268. XRP up 3.6%, 7.2% for the week. So XRP looking pretty good, $1.48. And of course, talk of Ripple, I think IPOing, I think is what's happening there. So it's coming up. BNB at number 5, up 0.7%, 6.5% for the week. So really good for BNB, $678. Solana at number 7, up 0.8%, $91.90, up 4.2% for the week. Tron up 0.8%, 1.3% for the week, 35 cents at number 8. Finally, number 10 is Doge, up 1.5%, up 8.4% for the week, sitting at 11.6 cents. And we're waiting for X Money Wallet, right? General release, I guess you would say. Best performer is Doge at number 10 and XRP at number 4. And of course, talks to the IPO, I think it is for Ripple. Top 100 performers. Let's see. We've got Hyperliquid at number 1. Well, no surprise, I guess. 16.9%. Unibase up 16%. Flare number 3 up 10.8%. XDC Network up 9.2%. And Canton up 7.9%. For the week, however, Unibase is number 1 up 80%. Wow. Suchain up 23%. Seen Raoul Paul shilling that one, right? Flare up 23%, stable with the USDT network, I believe it is up 20%, and XDC network up 17%. So those are top 5 and the top 100 for the last week. So 80% gains, not bad. That's at number 97 now. Top 1,000 gainers at the moment, Playnance, Kishu Inu, and Degen, all up 50 to 60%, 70%. Trending overall is Xano, Fyro, and Pudgy Penguins. There we go. Let's jump into. Have I got the charts up? I'm not sure. Let's jump away from that. Yeah, we're going to listen to this video. This is the big news, of course. Not only do we have positive trade discussions, not only did NVIDIA do well of those discussions, but we got the Clarity Act proceeding, right? So we had the Clarity Act hearing in the Senate Banking Committee, and we got the numbers. So that's pretty cool. And the Clarity Act passed 15 to 9. So that is going to move, combined with the AG write-ups, AG committee, and then move to the Senate floor. Hopefully gets done by, I can't remember the exact date, 21st of May, I think it is. Hopefully gets done by then. I think the percentage chance of that, maybe about 30%. So hopefully if not May, then June. And that's kind of the track there. Obviously got to get, I think there's 53 GOP senators, so you got to get 60 votes. So you need to pull over 7 from the Democrats. We might lose 1 or 2 Republicans. I'm not sure if they're all in yet. And so, might need up to 9, right? 7 to 9 Dems to get over the line there. Certainly probably won't get Warren over the line, but we'll see what happens there. Let's listen to the little vote because it's kind of cool.
The clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President.
The clerk will call the roll.
Chairman.
Aye.
Mr. Crapo.
Aye.
Mr. Rounds.
Aye.
Mr. Tillis.
Aye.
Mr. Kennedy.
Aye.
Mr. Haggerty.
Aye.
Ms. Lummis.
Aye.
Mrs. Britt.
Aye.
Mr. Ricketts.
Aye.
Mr. Banks.
Aye.
Mr. Kramer.
Aye.
Mr. Moreno.
Aye.
Mr. McCormick.
Aye.
Ms. Warren.
No.
Mr. Reed.
No.
Mr. Warner.
No.
Mr. Van Hollen.
No.
Ms. Cortez Masto. Ms. Smith.
No.
Mr. Warnock.
No by proxy.
Mr. Kim.
No.
Mr. Geigo.
Aye.
Ms. Blunt Rochester.
No.
Ms. Alsobrooks.
Aye.
The vote is 15 in favor and 9 opposed.
The ayes have it. H.R. 3633 is hereby ordered reported as amended to the full Senate. I ask unanimous consent that the staff be allowed to make technical and conforming changes and that the cordon rule be waived. Any objection? Hearing no objection, so ordered. Is there any member who would like to give a statement?
Mr. Chairman.
All right, so as you can see, the vote was gone, 15 to 9. So it's going to the Senate floor with all the final write-ups there. And I think they went through something like 100 amendments or so that they go through before all that vote was happening there. So pretty crazy. But it is moving forward, guys, and it is bullish news as well. So good China trade deals being done with the top 30 American entrepreneurs and now also with the Clarity Act moving forward. So pretty bullish environment, right, from that point of view. Kind of cool. We also, Eleanor Terrett, who's been following us pretty closely, also put that out with 2 Democrats a favor. So we got Ruby and Gallio and also Brooks. So they were in the 15 favor. So that's kind of cool. And so it moves forward from there. All right. So let's get into the big news overnight. We also, obviously, we had the trade, we had the Clarity Act moving forward. We also got Stretch, right? So Stretch is the preferred stock from Michael Saylor's strategy, formerly known as MicroStrategy. And that is the Stretch product is targeting the debt markets. It's raising capital. Every time that the Stretch price is over $100, they can issue new Stretch shares, raise debt capital from the debt markets, and go buy Bitcoin. That Bitcoin and then is put in the MSTR common stock, increasing the Bitcoin per share over time. So that's kind of the play. And in return, the Stretch people that buy the Stretch stock, they get paid a dividend of 11.5% per year, which is 3, 4, 5 times bigger than what they'll get in the money market or debt markets. I think the rates at the moment for like 7 months, 11 months in the United States for certificate deposits is about 3.6, 3.7%. So, if you're offering 11.5%, it's a no-brainer. And man, a lot of retail's picking up the product as well, not just institutions and third layer investment vehicles. But it's really a retail. Imagine earning 11.5% on your retirement income. I mean, think about that. As opposed to what you traditionally, a lot of retirement people would just have their money in the bank, rolling term deposits, right, or certificate deposits at 2-3%, and maybe 3.7 if they've got a decent bag of money, right? So 11.5% means you only need a lot less capital to earn the same amount of money. So it is pretty crazy times. Anyway, so here we are on the 11th of May. I know it's not the 11th of May, but the last 4 days before it's gone ex-dividend on the 15th, a ton of Bitcoin estimates has been bought. Now, we'll get the final numbers on Monday next week, so that's potentially another very bullish day. But this week, we're going to add them up. So this is Bitcoin Treasury's estimate. Now, you get a certain amount of volume per day, and a certain amount of that volume per day is trading over $100. Typically, 80% is kind of seen to be the benchmark. It was lower before, but now it seems to be most of the time it's over $100. So we're getting a high amount of that capital is capital raised, and therefore raising money to buy Bitcoin. Well, it looks like on the 11th, so think about that. So it's 4 days ago, 2,500 Bitcoin approximately was acquired. The daily volume was 445 million. The estimate, I think at 80% is, or maybe lower than 80%, is 207 million on that day. That day was probably lower. And the price there average price was 81,470 when it was buying the Bitcoin. You can see the daily trade volumes there between the pre-market, the regular hours, and the after-hours price. You can see all these times that it's over that yellow line. That is, people are able to really buy a lot, and it only has to be just a little bit over, right? And you can see all the buys. That's pre-market, the buyers coming in, and then the actual market. Look at that, just big towers, and some people buying 200,000 shares here, 156,000 shares at $100. And it goes all the way through the end of the market, and then aftermarket, there's a few trades as well. So you can kind of see the pattern, and that was 2,500. So keep that in mind. Then the following day, which was Tuesday, so that was Monday this week. Tuesday, another almost 3,000 was raised. So 3,370 million, 240 million proceeds. These are estimates, right? So we'll get the final numbers, but they've been pretty accurate, these ones. The Bitcoin price was much lower, so you're going to get more Bitcoin for your capital raise, right? Your ATM proceeds. ATM just means at the market proceeds. And you can see the trade for that day on that day. Pretty similar kind of profile, but lots of above $100 par, right? So whenever it's above $100, like $100.01, you can get that. Now, that volatility that is typically 1-2 cents, and that generates a lot of volume, right? So pretty huge. So add that up. That is, basically 5,500 Bitcoin approximately, just in 2 days, Monday, Tuesday. Then get to Wednesday. Wednesday, we raised another 5,000 Bitcoin. Just think about these numbers are really insane. They're really insane. So 5,100 Bitcoin gets raised. This is the iPhone moment. The Stretch product is the iPhone moment in Bitcoin. This is the third month in a row that it's been at these enormous levels of purchasing power. So a lot of people are ignorant of this happening, but you guys aren't because you watch the Crypto show. All right, so we've got daily volume over $500 million in daily volume on Wednesday, raising net proceeds of 14 million. So very high net proceeds there. And of course, the price of Bitcoin was even lower yesterday, as you guys know, 79. So you're buying even more Bitcoin for your buck. So for these proceeds over here. and you can see the volumes for the day. Look at some of these candles, even bigger than those other days. 400 is 20,000 shares is on the left here, and look at some of these green candles here. OMG, just piling up here. Look at that thing there. I'm trying to get onto the actual candle, but that is huge candle. Looks like maybe 500,000 share candle or something. And what a time that was. So absolutely bullish. And this is pumping crypto generally too, right? So that was 5,000. So now we're up at 10,500, right? 10,500 in 3 days. Let's get to the yesterday, Thursday. And this is the day before ex-dividend, right? So this is the last big day. So we were at 10,500. Let's jump to that. Look at that, guys. OMG. Is that amazing or what? Yeah. So in one day, approximately, this is an estimate, but approximately 14,400 Bitcoin was purchased in one day. Insane. So we already had 10,500. Now we're at another, basically 14.5. We're now at 25,000 Bitcoin. 25,000 Bitcoin purchased in 4 days. OMG, that is just insane. And so pretty awesome. We also had a 1.5 billion daily volume, and we also had net ATM proceeds at the estimate here at almost $1.2 billion of buying power. OMG, is that crazy? So you're looking at 25,000. You're looking at about over $2 billion of buying power on Bitcoin in the last 4 days. Crazy stuff, right? Stretch price slightly dipped, right? What we've seen in the past after ex-dividend, it normally discounts down to the dividend. So if the dividend is 96 cents a month, it will go down to at least 99.04 cents before having to recover. That recovery typically had taken about 10 days, although this month, because of the quarterly earnings and a few other dramas around things that Saylor had said that people couldn't quite understand around Bitcoin sales, but they're only if they were accretive and tax beneficial. That it took about a lot longer. I'm just trying to remember how many now. Maybe 18 days. It took quite a long time this time. But that's all about to change, because there's also a vote going on at the moment for bi-monthly dividends or fortnightly dividends, and that's going to reduce that whole time. So we're going to be raising capital more often and buying Bitcoin more often. Pretty exciting. So 25,000 Bitcoin. You guys know about 13,000 Bitcoin is mined per month by the miners, 450 a day. So it's almost 2 times the miners' supply is being bought off by strategy through the stretch product alone, guys, just by itself. Not having to take into account the ETFs like BlackRock, not having to take into account the whales, the retail, government, states, all that sort of stuff. So it is a really turning point in a crypto market here. You can see the trades there. Look at them. All the big candles there, well over 286,000. Look at them all, heaps of them. So what a big day in the office it was. So we expect next Monday to have a disclosure about 25,000. That could be hyper bullish for MSTR common stock, right? And potentially even for Bitcoin itself. Obviously, Bitcoin has more market factors moving it, but generally this is a ginormous. How much Bitcoin is there to be sold at certain price levels? It really runs out, doesn't it? Even on exchanges there. So pretty awesome stuff at the margin. All right, so that is huge news, guys. Hope you enjoyed that insight. And that leaves us with Bitcoin here. Had a nice, beautiful rally. We got all the way down here on the hourly chart. We got down to 78,722. We have chopped around a little bit there, around above that level. We're pretty much spinning around. We're about 79,500 in the middle here. Then we got a nice big pump, and up we went. And we got all the way up to 82,000. And 82,000 is the resistance. Remember that, guys, is the resistance there. And we've just come back to 80,886 there. So we'll keep a lookout for that. That's the hourly chart. So quite a bit of volatility. Let's go to the daily chart. And you can see the resistance is at the 82,000 mark. That is where the 200-day moving average is. It's currently sitting exactly on Coinbase, at least, at 81,966. So let's just round it to 82,000. So are we expecting maybe on Monday, maybe tomorrow, we've still got 1 day in the markets, to get popped up to the top there and break out. We've certainly got a lot of positive news leading into the weekend. So let's see what happens there. And where do we get our usual Sunday manipulations? But that is definitely possible. We could get a giant green candle there. So keep a lookout for that. Ethereum at the moment, let's go to that. Let me keep a track of time here. So obviously we had a pretty similar pattern here, chopped down to 2,233, chopped around a bit, around about $2,250. Then had a nice rally from 2,246 all the way up to 2,319, and now we've been sold back down. So Ethereum's definitely having more of a trouble time than we've seen with Bitcoin, and we don't have Bitmine Immersion buying 101,000 ETH a week. They probably moved down to about 25,000 is my guess. So they're pacing out their accumulation to 5%. They still need about another 800,000 ETH. So instead of buying 101,000 every week, which would get them maybe 2 months, 3 months time, they would they'll just pan out to the end of the year and get their 5% by then. But price support nevertheless of 25k a week. And so we'll watch out. But we also got ETFs coming in with staking ETH as well, so that should help. And we also have seen certain things. We got the chart selling down right at the moment, 2,262. Now, if we go to the daily here on ETH, we can see that we're really testing this level down here. We obviously want to stay above this general area of 2150, but we're at 2262. Maybe we'll get a market maker taking us up, but the 50-day at the moment is at 2,274. We're just below that, and the 200 moving average is at 2572. So it looks very different from the moving averages on Bitcoin, as you can tell. So we'll see what happens there. Looking at I think we're going to go monthly here. Let's go monthly. So there's the monthly. So that monthly, we've got that 5K resistance level. That's where we want to break, right? We break that and it's up and away, right? It's going to be very aggressive, I think, to the upside. And that's when we start getting into some of these big numbers that Tom Lee's talking about with the 12K to 22K. So 12K based on the like a 5-year, I think it's 5 or 7 year average, and the 22K based on the 2021 high relative to Bitcoin, which was just under 9% of the Bitcoin price. So that would get us to 22. But we got to break the 5K, and once we do, it's going to be glorious because we've been suppressed under here for 5 years. And imagine we didn't have a Bitmine Immersion start buying last year. They started buying with this green candle here. So they've bought themselves alone, along with other DATs at the time. Remember, they were buying for the first couple of months, and then Bitmine Immersion was sort of like last man standing, and ended up buying 5.2 million ETH. So that's pretty crazy. Did a lot of OTC DS stuff though. So if you're wondering why the price is not even more ballistic, well, it's really OTC over-the-counter deals being done. And this is taking supply off the market permanently though. So it is winding up, guys. We have got higher lows in here, and it is winding up. And when it goes, it's going to go ballistic. It really will. We're just in that sort of frustrating stage at the moment, but I think that it's looking pretty positive. Now, the 50-month moving average is at 2477, so that is a key mark as well for long term, right, on the monthly. So 2477, keep that as a memory, there. Keep it as memory. All right, moving on. So that is ETH right now, and we'll get on Monday, we'll get Bitmine Immersion's weekly update as well, and I'm suspecting we'll do 25. Now, I believe they're focused on building out the finance economy on top of Ethereum, and so they're going to be focused on that pretty aggressively all year. Remember, they're bringing in Mr. Beast with Mr. Beast Industries. They're going to bring rail mass adoption probably through Ethereum, and they're going to be launching their Leap app, right? So that's going to be targeting Z generation, Alpha generation, bit of millennials, and that's going to be probably one of the main routes to mass adoption for crypto coming up, because that's the era that we're moving into, right? It's not just institutional adoption, which is huge, but also mass adoption through retail as well. So it's really ushering a big time there. That Clarity Act also looking to challenge the existing banks, regardless around the yield discussions. The banks have always feared disintermediation because they have so much power, right? Banks have an enormous amount of power, disproportionate amount of power, and the best way to keep them in check is through innovation and competition, right? And they really haven't had that, right? They've always fought back against what they call disintermediation, that is moving them as the mediator between deposits and lending and things like that. And so that's why they've been so aggressive. If you're wondering why they're so aggressive, because they've got big fat profits off it and big control, right? Big control politically and economically. So, and little people that deposit at the bank, they know what it's like when they get bullied by banks, right? That's pretty much that. So that is where we are. Now let's get into Pulse Chain. Pulse Chain is on day 1098, and of course just had its third birthday, right? Third birthday. So happy birthday again to Pulse-Chain. I'd like to report a really big breakout, but not yet. So we are down 1.7% on Pulse right now, and that is sitting at 507481. So we're still defending. We'll talk about that in a minute. The 7,000 line, trying to find the bottom. P-Hex or Hex on Pulse-Chain is sitting at 12, just under 1300th of a penny, down 2% today. So not a big day down, but it should be getting a bit of benefit from the bullish move of at least Bitcoin or something, but nothing really happening yet. Still trying to find the bottom. ProVex at the moment is sitting at 4055, down to 2.75%. PulseX is sitting at 506, down 2% at the moment. Is rounded, of course. And then Ink there is 35 cents, down 0.25%. So Ink not too bad today. Those are the Richard Hart cores. Let's jump over to the stats for the validators. Validator stats at the moment. Let's see what those are. We're sitting at 50,909, pretty similar to yesterday. Looking at the gas prices, let's see, 690, a little bit higher. This is slightly higher than yesterday. Still pretty cheap though, 103 pulse per transaction, or 0.00774 US cents. Bridge values. This is kind of the key one. We lost a lot of money, right, between friends. Are we going to get a bit back? Well, it looks like we have climbed a little bit here, but back, around the 26th of April, we were around about 58 mil. We're now at 54, almost back to 56. So sorry, 55. So I think we have climbed a little bit there from the low of 53.69 or something like that. So we got a little bit of a gain in there, up 2% for the week. So that's kind of good. Good news there around the bridge. We want obviously that to climb, and we've got a lot of idle capital on the chain, right? So the daily inflow 139, daily outflow 206. So we're a net negative day. Wherever this was snapshotted, I think it's around about now. Maybe we might get the update just after this live stream. I don't know. Maybe it's a few hours away. I think it's 00 UTC time normally is where they take it. I don't know where we are relative to that. Let's go to that's it. Let's just leave it there. There we go. That is the overview there. Let's jump over to the markets. Pulse-Chain. Well, this is a Pulse-Chain market trying to hunt the bottom, and the hunt is on, and we're doing a good job despite some setbacks. We've still got some potential sellers as well, but beside that, we're still fighting the good fight. It's been not bad. We are on 8 weeks already, flying through here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, at minimum it was going to be 6 to 8 weeks. We're on 8 weeks. Is it going to take, assuming we don't break down, which I think is the lower probability, given where we are here? Not impossible, of course. So I don't want to say that we've been down on this big downtrend for 3 years. Is that it might take another 4 weeks? So we are expecting bullish news for the macro picture. We talked about all the big things happening with Bitcoin and Ethereum, and so hopefully we'll ride it up with them, and hopefully people stop rotating as well, and think that Pulse-Chain's a better bet for the upside. So we'll see. We need a few little more positive events happening. We also got the RSI has been extended down here for a long time, just above the oversold period, oversold level. So combining these two things together relative to the chart history, with this big long yellow downtrend and with these generally aggressively moving to the downside, this looks like different structure, right? This looks like different structure, and the battle at the bottom is on. That's kind of the way I'm putting this at the moment. Right, and I've gone through that in other videos in more detail, but that is basically the idea. And so will we break this mega downtrend for 3 years and start climbing to a mega uptrend? And know when there's negativity on the way down, that negativity is positivity on the way up. And so you get the opposite FOMO happening on the way up, and so forth. So just take note of that. That's Pulse might be cheap right now and you can flush it, but it could be expensive. As soon as it does a 2x, it's way more expensive, 3x, etc. And you shoulda, woulda, coulda. That's what people say, right? You hear them coming. Oh man, I thought Pulse-Chain was going to go down forever, and I didn't, and it went up. And I wish I had bought so much Pulse back then. I could have, but I didn't want. That sort of stuff goes on. Sorry for my drama. It was supposed to be a no drama channel, but that's as close as it gets, guys. It's close as it gets. So that's kind of where we are right now. So let's keep a lookout for that. So far, so good. So far, so good there. All right, let's jump into the top markets here. Right, we've got 3.4 million in 24-hour volume. We still don't see at the top metadata here. We still don't see the SwitchX, which just launched yesterday, which I did a special video on covering. For Brandon launched that, which was a big launch today. Nice surprise for the 3rd birthday. Brandon knows how to launch in style. But we got 3.4 million in volume on Dex Screen. This doesn't include the balance of forks out there. But let's have a look at PulseX. PulseX out of that 3.4 is 2.9. So that leaves us $500,000 spread someone else. 9mm is 340, so I guess we've got about another 150K out there somewhere. And given that these other ones like Uniswap, 28K, 9-inch apparently is 10K. So these are really, and then the rest of them will be nothing burgers, right? They're all DeFi that launched in the past, and they've probably got a few thousand if they're lucky. Not even that. Look at that. So what we should suspect to happen, we should see SwapX pop up here. I don't know how long it takes. Maybe it takes 24 hours. I don't know if must have been about 24 hours. So we'll see whether it pops up shortly, but it should pop up here between 9mm and Uniswap. And then it will be interesting to see whether it can battle for the second spot behind PulseX for SwitchX. So we'll keep a lookout for that because we are going to talk about it in a minute. So let's have a look at the overall DEXs, which includes Switch. So it includes SwitchX, but it's not showing as the metadata at the top here in the menu of DEXs. And we've got at the moment Payment, which has been around for 16 days. That's up 83%. I haven't reviewed that one, so do your due diligence on all these. Switch, which is the one that launched from Brandon, 40% today. So still looking strong there, and it's only been going for just over a day, isn't it? It's down 1% in the last 6 hours, but holding up fairly well at for just under 4.3 cents. So you can see the US price there holding up pretty well. And we have got there's an emission curve, which is very important, right? So we only started off with 30 million, 15 million got burned, and I think it got put into the lock DAO, so they're earning from rewards there. It's kind of a system wallet, I believe that's how it works. Then the other 15 million is what the retail's got, and then there's going to be a mission curve over the next 2.5 years, all the way up to 1 billion tokens, which would be another 970 million by that count. And that's got various rewards and distributions in it, right? So and it's at a decreasing rate, so we're going to have a halving in a year, halving in another year, and then 6 months, and then it's over, all the inflation's out. And therefore, if it's a good going concern, earning good revenue, then it's a cash cow for the holders. That's kind of the idea. All right, so let's have a look here. So we've got the market cap at 613,000, which is about half of 9mm, right? So 9mm is about 1.1 million, I think, somewhere like that. So it's let's say half. Let's say about half of 9mm at the moment. Interesting comparison. And we're going to have a look at the turnover in a second. And so yeah, that is ticking away there. Let's have a look at the update. So we did get an update from Brandon. I'm going to go down here and just to make sure I get all of his updates. So let's have a look here. Oh, we've got nice. Yeah, so we covered it yesterday. You can see the show there. It was really great. I enjoyed that. Crypto Coffee also covered it. A new app on Polestone is like if Uniswap V4 Aerodrome Algebra Finance had a baby. That's pretty funny. It's a cool DeFi app that lets you do concentrated liquidity. It reads PulseX for price. Maybe Petius will integrate its new liquidity pools. It offers MEV protection, better prices, and opportunity for LPs to earn more due to concentrated ranges. And that is the docs there. So it was a nice post there from Crypto Coffee. The other one, of course, is we just got an update. So that's kind of cool. Someone mentioned this yesterday. And hey, big shout out to DJ Hexagon and else there. I was meant to say that earlier. And so apparently ALM vaults are now open on SwitchX too. So we were looking for that launch. That was alluded to yesterday. One important thing users should understand before farming: some farm rewards are automatically locked into VNFT governance positions depending on the pool. So just take note of that. For example, if a pool has 50% auto lock and you earn 100 Switch, 50 Switch becomes liquid, and 50 Switch is automatically locked into a VNFT at max lock duration. So some locking there going on as part of the reward system. Users can either route those rewards directly into a VNFT immediately or accumulate them as credits and combine them into a larger lock later. Current max lock duration is 2 years for just normal locking. This only applies to a portion of farming rewards, which is Switch. Your underlying liquidity is not locked. Important there. You can still withdraw your ALM liquidity positions if you want. The auto lock applies to reward emissions, not your deposited principal. ALM vaults are designed to simplify concentrated liquidity by allowing users to deposit a single asset while the vault manages positions and rebalances automatically, which is part of the secret sauce there. Looking pretty good. So that is the update there. He's obviously also gone into what is a VNFT. VNFT is basically a governance position represented as an NFT, When Switch gets locked and holder receives voting power, that can be used to vote on emissions, earn governance rewards, earn bribes. Fast Abdul will like that. Participate in protocol governance, and the longer the lock, the more voting power it has. Read the freaking white paper. There we go, which we went through yesterday. I think that was it from them. So that is the latest and greatest from Brandon. I'll leave a link to that in the chat there if you guys want to engage with that. So Switch update. Switch X update, I should say. Be very careful with the language there. And bam, that is it. All right, very nice there. So nice rollout. So what else is he going to roll out on that thing? That'd be interesting. So that is the link to that from Brandon. All right, kind of cool. So that was good news. And let's jump back here. I don't know where we haven't got the links yet. So presumably he's going to update the links here on Deck Screener with all the websites and everything. That's not yet done, but that will come up, I'm sure. What else? I think we've got Switch X on here. Switch X, Switch. Gotta make sure I spell it proper. Right? Switch X. Fine. All right, we got the website. Let's go check the volumes quickly. See what the volumes are on here. So total value locked is 181,000 at the moment. Total volume is 117K, so it's up 90%. And fees at the moment, $7 at the moment on fees. So we're going to kind of track these numbers as we move forward there. Switch USDC, it's got farm ALM pools, and that has got 1,136% APR at the moment. So looking pretty juicy there, but there's a number of other pools looking kind of cool. So we're going to keep a track of that as well. And like I say, we should see SwitchX jump up here behind 9mm and later on. All right, so those are the two outperformers at the moment, PMint and Switch. I haven't checked out PMint. Remember that. Do your dominance. Dominance from AG Webship up 3.4%. UFO with Provix up 3%. Ink Token up 2%. True Farm, nice to see that back up again. That's at 64 cents, up $1.73. One of our two high APR farms, if you want to check that out for DeFi. A Reserve Tay from James Maria, 1% there. Emmett Farm at $1.30, holding strong. The top APY farm there, along with True Farms, and that's up 1% today. Top Hat Titan the Peacock up slightly, just under 1%. UFO Die there, so UFO's got a couple of peers, but UFO Die up 0.5%. PTC Pulse up 0.5%. That's sitting at 408,700 right now on PTC the Greys. We'll have a quick look at this one. And you can see that's kind of sitting there, not doing too much, just sort of sitting in that range. But the pulse ratio is still looking pretty good at 11.5, but down half from the all-time high. We got DAO token there, just under 0.5% up, and then we got Ink token sitting in there. So we haven't got a lot of green coins, 15 in the top 100 pairs, and then everything else is kind of slightly out of the money. Amiga DAO, which has been a top performer, is down 50% today, so a little bit of profit taking going on there. But remember, volume sold is volume earned, and so that is ticking away at 5K volume on the main pair. ZKP, also another one of our top DeFis launched recently. That's Amiga is from Cabal King, I think supported by Nixian, and then a ZKP there from Kairos, of course, from Emmett Farms. And that is, so this one's earning Hex, and that one's earning Provex. And that's down 11% today, 12% today. So some of the top performers there, just a bit of profit taking going on those on today. Pulse Guy down 8%. Teddy Bear from James Maria down 6%. The Escada from Nika Supply down 6%. Zero Trust, part of the Peacock Trifesta, down 6%. We've got a little bit of slippage here going on Peacock ahead of all their big protocol launches. That's sitting just below 1.1 cent right now, down 6% at the moment. What's the ratio at the moment? 14.37 Pulse, ticking away there. World's Greatest Pre-Die Printer down 5%. Finvesta $1.10 down 4.7%. OG WebChef. Coin Mafia from Rackham Shell down 4%, $2.02. And they've got 2,000 validators now supporting that project. So there we go. And we've got a couple others here. Zero as well, down 4%. Now Provex from we talked about this earlier, but that's down 3% as well in the mix. Swarm down 3%. So we're coming from the bottom, but now we're here. Right, coming from the bottom, now we're here. Zendog, also part of the Peacock Trifecta, down 2.6%. So that's kind of where we are on the markets. Let's go quickly look at, we've already covered Switch X pretty well. let's go look for Liberty Swap and see what that crew has been up to, because obviously they're launching some pretty juggernaut projects. Pretty juggernaut projects there. We'll pull that up. So let's see what they've been up to. How we doing for time here? We're doing pretty well. Somebody talking about PulseChain getting a hardware wallet Keystone through Liberty Swap, and that was the chosen one there, or chosen graphics. I think it looks pretty damn good. So nice work there from Liberty Swap. That'll probably be a few weeks away in terms of purchasing. We need a decentralized stablecoin. They keep saying that. Have you noticed that? So they keep talking about decentralized stablecoin. Obviously, all the PDI bros want it to be PDI, but I don't know what's it going to be. We could have just Peacock, right? Peacock could be used, right? Why have PDI when you can have Peacock? Now, PDI, of course, has one of the top trading volumes on PulseChain, but Peacock is their official coin, and that would get a big uplift. Anything that supports it gets a big uplift there, so we'll keep a lookout for that. Oh, what happened? I went too far. So that's been in the mix there. 7 hours ago, they kind of made this disclosure here. We have been swapping all donated pump tire supplies into Peacock since early 2026, and we'll continue to do so in the future. So whenever pump tires comes back, we will have plenty of coins donated to buy back Peacock. So I'm not quite sure what that means, because it's kind of a bit. They're selling their Peacock. They're selling their pump tires for Peacock. But when pump tires comes back, we're going to have plenty of coins to donate to buy Peacock. So I get in the future they're going to get more coins. I guess that's maybe what they're alluding to there. That since I don't think it makes sense. Yield protocols are coming to Liberty's DEX, and that's the big deal, right? That is coming up along with the wallet that they've launched, and obviously got many other things. But in the short term, that is the big juggernaut yield products to strengthen the buyback and burn. That could move up the buy power by a couple of X's potentially. Let's say 2-3X. So yeah, keep a lookout for that. So that was pretty bullish from them. Liberty Swap, Liberty DEX, Liberty Shield, and Wallet are the principal products. But they do have further down, they've got lots of DeFi they can hook in, including Liberty Lean coming down. Looks like they're going to have some sort of staking as well, maybe some sort of airdrops in there too. So keep a lookout for that. That's all coming down the line. Up only, she's Sean. Indeed. So that is from them today. What else? 7 hours ago, USDC, USD Tether are steadily gaining market share through acquisitions. We'll work on updating our code to support USDC instead of USDH, Hyperliquid one there, over the last few days to adapt and enable Hyperliquid, Hyper EVM, PulseChain routes as soon as possible. Currently, ZK Wallet supports Hyper EVM natively, so users can already move liquidity between X systems quickly, seamlessly, and with fewer errors there. So that's kind of bullish. More updates coming, says Liberty Swap, indeed. All right, so that's some of the stuff they've been talking about. They've got their liquidity stack 10 hours ago. The ultimate liquidity stack here, Circle CCTP. So this is the cross-chain stuff, right? For Circle, USDC. Railgun, obviously, Pro-C, Thorchain, Bitcoin, all right, Chainlink, CCP IP, presumably, data, cross-chain, near intents as well. So more intent-based stuff there. Not sure of the uniqueness of the near part, but certainly developing the intent-based trading already. Maybe just with the near protocol there. Routing BTC, ETH, stablecoins, XR, MR from literally everywhere, privacy, native, unstoppable, business maxing, level up. So they're basically going to do just about everything you can think of that's going to increase liquidity and trading volume. So that's awesome, right? This is for Liberty Swap, Liberty DEX, and Liberty Shield together with ZKX Wallet will have major upgrades. Stay tuned. So they're all coming as well. And they have also, not only have they teased about talking about stablecoins, decentralized stablecoin all the time, but also with marketing. They've actually teased quite a bit about our marketing, so we're going to keep a lookout for that as well. Business maxing season. So expect these guys to keep building, guys. These guys are the preeminent Kraken project on PulseChain. They have the ability to really roll out some big stuff. They also had some big money coming through Liberty Swap. So 161K came through on last transaction. So they're starting to get some, pretty decent money coming in there. So we'll keep a lookout for all of that as well. Sometimes it may be, I don't know whether it's customers or so forth or themselves, but anyway, that is in the mix. So that's the update today. So pretty quick, but how bullish was that? I mean, honestly, it might have been a 45-minute live stream, but packed full of just top bullish things. Great great, a US state visit to China. I think that was pretty good. And obviously, there's always, politics going on and things like that. But actually, it was pretty good, I think, for trade. We should see that flow into a lot of the top companies there. And of course, a world that's not at war is better. A war that's at prosperity and peace, at least for another period of time, is always good. And we also had the Clarity Act move forward. That's great, exciting there. Obviously, a lot of work to be done still, but that's very positive for crypto, particularly United States and regulation. And then number 3 there, the stretch product there, 25,000 Bitcoin. I mean, come on, guys, this is insanity. It is going to be so awesome moving forward. It also puts a lot of pressure on ETFs to accumulate when they know that strategy is buying up all the Bitcoin with the debt markets. So think about that. It's not only a huge amount, but it's actually putting pressure on other market players to buy Bitcoin, because if they don't, they're going to be paying higher prices later on. So they've got to buy it now, right? So that's kind of the bit of that pressure in there too. And then we've got obviously Pulse Chain finding the bottom. We've got Ethereum Finance, building out finance with Tom Lee. That's all going to start playing out, I think, over the next 6 to 12 months. So keep a lookout for all that. And then Pulse Chain finds the bottom. Maybe Market Maker comes in. We'll keep a lookout for that. And of course, ETH would help with that. And so we're going to follow all the Magic Carp ride journey as well in the future. So stay tuned for all that. Should be good. Hope you guys enjoyed the show, guys. Don't forget to subscribe on YouTube, The Crypto Night Show, Superman Crypto, and Pulse Chain X. And don't forget to also hit the follow button on X. In fact, I think we've been climbing. Have we been climbing on the old X there? Let me have a look. Yeah, we're heading up towards 700 followers. As you guys know, I had to rebuild my channel after my old channel was taken down, but you guys are helping, and I appreciate that. Don't forget to hit the repost button on the show as well. That helps a lot. I notice you guys, you're watching, but you're not reposting. So repost the show. If you're going to watch, you might as well repost too. And not just from my show, but all of your favorite crypto shows. Do a repost, man. Do a repost so you pump your own bags. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed that. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care and bye for now.